Today we're going to begin a series of different types of simple crafts you can do at home with very low priced items you might already have in the house, or things you can get with a really quick trip to the dollar store or Walmart or Target, which are hopefully still open. And as of yet, where I am, they are. And we're going to call these the quarantine crafts. Fun things you can do with yourself, with your kids, to keep you occupied, to keep you from getting the cabin fever. And so this first one is super fun, as all of them are super fun. Let's begin. Now you're only going to need a square, a simple square, a little less than a square foot, but something a square foot or smaller, cardboard or wood, or some kind of hard material that's a little bit firm. You know, you don't want to use paper, but something a little bit heavier. I went to the dollar store and I just got this simple frame because it was $1. And look at that. Live what you love. Love what you live. How great is that? But we don't even need this. We are just using the back for that nice cardboard there. Now I could pop the cardboard out and use it as itself, but this frame offers like a nice extra support. So we're just gonna open this guy up. And let's see here. This has glass on it too. We could actually use the glass. I'm just learning as I go. So we'll pop these tabs up. You might need to get yourself a little butter knife. Get these guys up. All right, now pop this out. Aha, so that is all one piece. So we could use this for our board, or we could use this for our board, this glass part here. Either way is kind of fun. I have to think about which one I prefer to do. But basically, what you want to do is get a ruler, and you want to mark off every 3/4 of an inch all the way up to eight sections. You're gonna go 8 sections this way and 8 sections this way, because that is what a checkerboard or a chessboard uses. You could do 1/2 inches. You could go smaller, which is also the same as doing centimeters. That's a little too small. I think we could spread it out and have a little more room to play with. So I'm saying every 3/4 inch. If you get a larger square and the square is up to 8 inches, you could do every whole inch or every 2 centimeters, and that'll give you the squares that are closer to the size of a full-size board. But this is a cute little mini one, and this one here is only 7 inches. So I'm going to go with the 6 inches, meaning I'm going to, let me decide which one I'm using. I'll do the cardboard for now to show you guys. So I'm going to move in about 1/2 inch, because if I have 7 inches, then centered would be a 1/2 inch on each side to get a 6 inch distance, if that makes any sense. Just bear with me here if it doesn't. But I'm measuring 1/2 inch on from each edge, and that will give me right about there a starting point. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, so these middle corners, these middle and inner points are where you're going to start your board, and that'll give you a nice border if you have a 7 inch square like I do and you're doing 3/4 inches. All right, so we're going to go like from here, and oops, on the centimeter side, there's goofy centimeters, and good. From here to here, it's 6 inches. That's what it should be. So we're going to go every 3/4 of an inch. Make sure you have it right on the right line. Sometimes these lines can get confusing if you're not careful. So that is one. Actually, first let's just draw the line. Let's get a straight line going across here. Back up the ruler a little bit, because the fatness of the marker can kind of put the line where you don't want it. So let's get that, and nice straight line. Okay, and again, we're not going to be perfect. This isn't like machine perfect. This is for fun. So have fun, right? Let's draw all the borders of our board, all 4 lines here. Okay, now let's start doing our 3/4 of an inch marks. 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. If I do this right, I should get 8 of these and line up right at the end. 1/4 of an inch. Let's see how good my measuring skills are. Wow, pretty perfect. Better than I thought I was going to do. And just to be sure, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. All right, let's do the others. Okay, now let's fill in the grid with our trusty ruler. Make some nice lines going across. Remember to back up a little bit if your marker is fat, because the line is going to stick out a little bit more than you intended. Now, here's one of the fun parts. Either from Target or Walmart or the dollar store, get inexpensive, very cheap acrylic paint, or very inexpensive nail polish. Now, the nail polish is fun because you can get glittery, cool, fun colors, and, you know, that's just fun. But the nail polish has fumes, so depending on, you know, whether you want to open enough windows and how you respond to fumes and your kids, you might want to go with the acrylic, which is a little bit safer as far as fumes go. But whatever, get yourself some cute little paint brushes, and don't go with the traditional black and red or black and white. Just pick 2 really fun colors. Maybe even go over it and then blend it with a different color. But totally have fun with this. I think I'm gonna make half my squares green and half with this kind of a combo, like give it a light pink color. So like green and pink, maybe a little purpley pink. Kind of fun and weird. Again, we're not going to be perfect. We're just going to have fun. I think it's easier to get the edges if you go almost to the edge and then flip it and do that same square from the other side. Because you can get a much better edge pulling away from the line than trying to pull right up to the line. So there's a little helpful tip for any kind of painting where you have to paint within fine edges. Yep, that one square is already looking better than some of the others. But again, if you mess up, just have fun. If you totally mess up, just mush over the line, you can go back and paint over it. You can go back with the Sharpie even and redraw it. But don't take forever with this. Let's get this stuff done and get to the next part, which is even more fun. Voila! And I even made a little mistake there. But not a big deal, because once I get the other color... Oh, and I forgot these 2. But once I get the other color, I can just... Oh wait, not that one. This one. And this one. Oh my goodness. Anyway, once I get the other color, I can copy over that. Or we can just leave it and change the rules of the game so that that counts as a green one. I don't know. Whatever. Who even says you have to make 2 different colors? Put some pink on one side of your brush, purple on the other corner of your brush, and a little bit of red in the middle, and make your each square tri-tone. Just have fun with this. You go back on the green too. Take a little bit of blue and streak it in on the edges if you want. Like, make this fun. Make it yours. Make it like no other chess or checkerboard ever. Considering we just used literally a piece of cardboard, you don't even need to buy anything. You could just find an old cardboard box, just measure out 7 inches by 7 inches square, cut it out with some scissors. If you want to do the same dimensions I did, if you want to make it a little bigger, if you want to make it full inches, then you're going to need probably 9-inch square, because your board is going to be 8 inches and you still want to have a little border maybe. But have fun. Now to show you even more fun, let's do some sparkly glittery nail polish on top of it. If you want, either way. Just putting the nail polish, the glitter in one corner has kind of a cool effect, I feel like. Now we get some polymer clay, also from Walmart, probably from Target too, or any art store that might still be open. You don't need to buy this much. You really, probably for this project, only need to buy, I'd say 4 colors. Just get 4 colors, because then you can blend 2 for one of the sets of pieces, and then blend 2 for the other set. So let's go with our theme still. Let's do like a blue-green for one type of piece, and then like a pink-purple for the other type. Maybe something like that. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll just blend 3 and 3 maybe, because we have them. I mean, you don't have to. You can keep it simple. You could literally just do 1 color of each. You could just do 1 color if you like, maybe 2 packs of 1 color, and then just take your nail polish and paint it afterwards, or your paint, and make it different colors that way if you don't want to spend more money. But anyway, let's open these guys up. Polymer clay is so fun. This is just, it's like Play-Doh for slightly older kids. You don't want to let the really small kids around it. It's technically not supposed to be for under 5. Because basically it's not food safe, and you definitely don't want them to put it in their mouths. There's a debate about how toxic it is, but you don't want to be the guinea pig to try that out. So I'm taking a little bit of each color, and I'll mush them. Now this clay gets softer as you work with it, as it heats up from your hands working with it. But I'm going to mush it. I'm going to roll it out into a nice wormy worm. I actually squished all the purple in the middle there. I didn't want to do that, but maybe I can pull it back out. But there's no right or wrong. You can play with it however you want. I'd say the only rule is you have to have fun. But you roll yourself out a nice worm and then twist it. This is how I find is really fun to blend the colors. Get really cool blends in there, like a marble effect. You roll out this nice wormy worm, right? And then you coil him up like this, or her. Really pretty, right? And then you go smush, stretch, and you just enjoy the colors mushing into each other. Like, these are very light colors, but you know, you can get darker colors. You can smush all kinds of fun stuff together. So, because I don't want these colors to come out too light, I'm going to put a little more of the darker pink, a little more of the purple. And I haven't measured how much you're going to need for this. I'm just trying to take a guess here, but let's just get these colors nice and blended. There's no right or wrong. Like, now if you keep on blending them, they're going to become uniform, and that's no fun because then you won't see the individual colors peeking out. So don't go too far with it. But at some point, see, I feel like I'm just about at a good place. Look at those stripes I got now. I don't know if this camera is doing justice, if you can really see how pretty this looks. It's just like, anyway, now we're going to take I'm going to say about the size of like a chickpea. And again, I never really tried this yet. I just kind of did it in my head, but that's pretty much every one of these videos. So how many pieces do we need? Let's find out. Let's consult the interwebs. Okay, so it looks like we need 12 of each for each team. So just basically try to get these close to the size of a chickpea. And I mean really like the size of a chickpea. Don't make them any bigger. They're almost like the size of a pea. If you find you make them too big, just pinch some off and redo it. But yeah, make yourself 12 of these little guys. This camera isn't showing you how pretty these little swirls are in here. They're like, what is happening, camera? Come on. There we go. Try to get you to see it. Yeah, still can't see it. Anyway, trust me, there's a lot of pinks and purples and fun stuff going on in there. All right, I'm blending a little bit of super dark purple in here because I just want to break up this way too light pinky purpley thing and give it a little more something or other. There you go. Now you can see some more color blended in there. There we go. 12 little goobers. Follow the instructions on the packet that the clay comes in, but in general, they're going to tell you to bake them for about 10 to 15 minutes on, I think it's like 325. I'll have to look at the box, but you bake them in your oven. You can take them out early and check because sometimes no matter what they tell you in the directions, they start to turn black. And if you see them making a little tiny bit of smoke, then take them out immediately because they're overdone. But if you don't want to bake them in the same oven as your food, so far people say it's safe to do that, but I have a dedicated little toaster oven that I use. Anyway, let's do the blues. And look at that, I didn't even use most of it. You really don't need that much. It's actually very, very fun and easy. Blue-greens, rather. Look at those pretty colors twisting and twisting. It's so pretty. It looks like some kind of a exotic plant from a rainforest or a crazy wild caterpillar. So pretty. Look at it twist, it twists, it twists. It twists, it twists, it twists, and then we roll it. We roll it. Look at the pretty caterpillar. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. And we smush it. And then we see what colors do we need to add more of. I think we need a little bit more of the light. The light got a little blended out there. Make another warm of the light color and just kind of smush him in all around. And then we twist again and see what happens. Oh yes, that's a little better. I think that's good. Maybe a little more blue. And let's make 12 more of these little guys. Oh, now you can kind of see the pretty colors. Look at that. Oh, it's like a little planet. So pretty. Oh, fun. You can just stare at this. It's so fun to work with this clay. I needed to do it. I haven't done it in a while. Everybody kept saying, Matt, do more polymer clay. And I was like, you know I am the polymer clay expert of the entire universe. And yet, I've kept myself away from this pleasure for so long. I've denied myself to pursue other things just for you guys. But no more. No more shall I run from the power and the magic of the polymer clay. It calls to me. It calls to me. It says, Matt, come home. Come to your home. This is one of my homes. I used to make polymer clay earrings for long time. There was shows where I sold almost nothing but polymer clay earrings. This was so fun. Get so many cool colors blended. Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish this up. Okay, now you roll them in your palm into the most perfect little sphere you can with each one. But again, don't be too perfect. Don't be too crazy about it. Make sure you have 12 of each color or each team. And then get a small quarter or a penny or any small coin and take each one and smoosh it. Make sure you smush it evenly. Look at your coin. It should not fill up, if it's a penny or a dime, it should not fill up the whole thing. It should be just about like this. Just about, you know, leaving a little bit of an edge of the coin. And then try to see if you can peel it off. Ugh, it's sticking to the coin. Okay, peel it off and then try to flatten it and make it look pretty again. But again, don't be too crazy. Just try to make it like a flat little disc, like a fat pancake. Fat pancake, you see? And then test it on your board and make sure it's a good size. It should be nice and fit nicely on the square, but it should not totally cover up the entire square. So this is almost a little too big, but it'll work. So you see? Okay. So I'm gonna make this one a little bit fatter and a little bit smushed a little more because I don't want it to spread out that much. But now I got a feel for it. And do the others like that, and then you bake them. I almost got ahead of myself. You don't bake them until you flatten them. You know what? Forget the coin. Just flatten them in your fingers and then spin them like this. Squeeze, turn, squeeze, rotate. And then you get a nice little even disc, and it's not too fat. It's actually a little bit smaller. And again, test it with your board, but that's about the size you want. Okay. And then you can put them like on a little piece of foil and bake them for the designated amount. Each one's going to have its own little character. Each one's going to be, they might be a little bigger or smaller than each other. Not going to be perfect. Again, this is just so you can have fun and play the game. You don't need perfection here. We are not machines, we are artists. But you're gonna see some really pretty little swirls come out in some of these guys. And if you want to make them like real checkers, you can take a little metal, like a pin, take like a little pin, and you can make little ridges around the edges. Just press them in like that. But that's a lot of extra work. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just showing you. You can do that to them, and that might make them a little more stackable, because in the game of checkers, sometimes you have to stack some of them, and they'll stack just fine, but they might kind of slip. They might slide off of each other a tiny bit if they get bumped. Whereas, you know, if you put enough ridges, it might be enough more friction to hold them together. But anyway, have fun with this. I'm going to say if you're flattening them like this, one more note, it will usually say to bake them for a certain amount of time per 1/4 inch. This is not a 1/4 inch. This is about 1/8 of an inch. So I would say bake them for half that amount of time. And again, monitor them closely. So if it says 15 minutes, I would keep them in for just 5 minutes and make sure it doesn't start smoking, or, you know, you don't get any kind of fume. And if you do, shut it off. But if it seems fine, take it up to about 7 or 8 minutes, and that should be plenty for these guys. And then when you get them out, you let them cool down for about 5 minutes, because they'll be, when they're still hot, they're a little flexible still, and you don't want to burn yourself. So after you let them cool down for about 5-10 minutes, you are ready to play. And have fun playing for hours.